Clarissa Shields DM'd me yesterday. It was like basically, Cam, they trying to rewrite history. I have the most watched fight ever in women's boxing history. Their first fight was 1.5 million. My fight was 2 million. So I DM'd her back. I said, "That's what's up, sis." But I sent her the new numbers with 50 million people was watching the fight, and I said, "You got some
60 million.
So Killer Cam came out, pushing old media narrative because that's all he do. That's why I don't even listen to podcasts like this, because all they do is repeat the comment section. It's like they don't even have an opinion of their own. All they do is repeat what old media want to hear, what the Rays fans want to hear, what the Uncle Toms want to hear and join. Basically, the popular narrative, which is why I don't listen to podcasts like this. All I have to do is read my comment section, and that's exactly what they're going to say on their programs. That being said, Killer Cam told the GWAOT Clarissa Shields, "Sis, listen, you got some catching up to do. Serrano and Katie Taylor just did 50 million views. So you got a lot of catching up to do bragging about doing 2 million views on your own. You no longer have the highest viewing fight record. They do." As you guys see above, Claressa Shields, the GWAOT herself, came out and checked Killer Cam for joining the UNCLE T0M Club. Respectfully, you know it's bad when even old media is not saying the BS Killer Cam is saying. But let's get straight to it. Since when we are giving undercard fighters the credit for the main event? Who the hell fought on Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight? I don't even recall. I believe it's Leo Santa Cruz. Did Leo Santa Cruz get the credit for selling 4.7 million just in the USA alone on pay-per-view? Did he get the credit for that? Of course not, Killer Cam. Do your homework. Let's continue because you're going to get this work today. Gervonta fought on Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor undercard when they broke records. Did Gervonta get the credit for selling 4.4 million pay-per-view buys in the USA alone? Of course not, because he was on the undercard. People tuned in, people bought the pay-per-view to watch the main event. Just like the Floyd versus Pacquiao, just like Floyd versus Canelo, nobody ever gave Danny Garcia and Matisse the credit for selling 2.2 million pay-per-view buys. Why not, Killer Cam, since you smarter than the fifth grader? Well, repeat after me. Is because they were not the main event. So why will Killer Cam give the credit to Serrano and Katie Taylor for Mike Tyson selling the fight? Everyone tuned in to watch Uncle Mike. That's it, that's all. After all, Mike Tyson is the most famous fighter in the world. Better yet, you can even say celebrity, you can even say person in the world. For example, Michael Jackson, before he died, when he did a concert, the people that opened up for him, the artists that performed for him before Michael Jackson came on, did he get the credit for all of the tickets that were sold? Of course not. Michael Jackson got all of the credit because it was a Michael Jackson concert. He was the main event, just like Mike Tyson was. This is common sense, Killer Cam. Now, I don't know who fed you this BS, or if you just on some Uncle Tom-ish. Mike Tyson alone gets the credit for all the viewerships. Jake Paul bought Mike Tyson name for a night. He used Mike Tyson name for a night. He don't get the credit for that, let alone the undercard fighters like Killer Cam tried to do to the GWAOT Clarissa Shields. People lie, men lie, women lie, however, numbers don't lie. And Clarissa Shields hold the record for the most viewership of all time in women boxing. That's a fact that is not for debate. I threw a party to watch this fight due to Mike Tyson alone, and everyone that came to watch the fight didn't even watch the undercard, didn't even watch Serrano nor Taylor fight at all. They were just walking around, eating, chilling, doing everything but watching the fight till Mike Tyson came on. But Killer Cam want to give the undercard fighters the credit for Tyson selling the fight, for the main event selling the fight. Where do they do that at? It is what it is, but we don't do that over here. We tell the whole absolute truth over here. You see, when Clarissa Shields made history by doing more than 2 million viewership as the main event, her numbers are real. It's not manufactured. She was not the undercard that no one came to tune in for. She was the main event that everyone came to watch. And she delivered. Just like Gervonta didn't get credit for Floyd versus Conor McGregor. Just like Leo Santa Cruz didn't get the credit for the numbers Floyd versus Pacquiao produced. Just like Danny Garcia and Matisse didn't get the credit for the numbers Floyd versus Canelo produced. Serrano and Katie Taylor get zero credit for the numbers Mike Tyson produced. They just happen to be there. Heck, if I fought on the undercard, I would have had gotten the same viewership. People just had the TV on, waiting for Uncle Mike to come on. That's a fact that is not up for debate. The GWAOT Claressa Shields is the one that still holds the record for the highest viewership in women boxing. Second of all, from day one, they've been coming at the queen, Claressa Shields, the GWAOT herself, left and right. Never wanting to give her the credit, always trying to belittle her and downplay her accomplishments of breaking history every single time. I always said, since women boxing existed, all of the talent, you can weigh it on one hand and Claressa Shields on the other hand. Claressa Shields has half of the talent of women boxing since existence. She broke all of the records, and her records are yet to be broken. However, they still hating on her. They try to find another angle every single time. At this point in time, if you do not give the credit, or if you don't see anyone give the credit to Claressa Shields that she earned by labeling her who she is as the GWAOT of women boxing, then they are a race fan or an Uncle Tom fan. That's it, that's all. Because she, without a doubt, the GWAOT in women boxing. In all categories, I can honestly say, Claressa Shields is the GWAOT of women boxing more than is Jordan to basketball, more than Tiger Woods is in golf, more than Missy is in soccer, more than perhaps even Floyd to boxing. That's how much of a GWAOT Claressa Shields is. That's how much of a separation between her and all of her class. There's a clear separation between all of the women's in boxing and Claressa Shields. The gap as far as the talent between Claressa Shields and all of the women, like I said before, you can weight all of the talent that ever existed in women boxing on one hand and Claressa Shields on the other hand, which is why there's only one queen in women boxing, and that's the GWAOT Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields is so badass with it. She won 2 gold medals as if she's sipping water. That's how easy she made it look. Then she went on to become undisputed in the sport of boxing back to back 3 times. In 3 weight classes, she is a champion. In fact, that's old news. She already made history, once again breaking her own records that no one broke yet. Becoming a 5-division champion, the first ever female to become a champion from middleweight all the way to heavyweight. The only one that did it for the past 100 years was Roy Jones in the male divisions. Keep in mind, Roy Jones is top 5, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Shields did all of this while remaining undefeated and dominating everyone she fought, from amateurs to pros. She got tired of whooping everybody. After she whooped everybody, she went to the MMA and started whooping. So put some respect on her name. Now back to Killer Cam. Obviously, Killer Cam can't talk boxing as far as skill. We ain't gonna talk about that. How Taylor and Serrano be getting beat up left and right, while Shields look as pretty as a model after the fight, after all of her fights. We're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Killer Cam when he made his debut. to social media, because the first time I heard of Killer Cam podcast was when he was trashing Jamel Charlo on It Is What It Is. Now, of course, the clip was hilarious, but he only does that to his people. He don't do that to other people. Like Crawford said, the crazy part about it be your own people that be hating on you. You will never hear a Filipino clown Manny Pacquiao for losing to Floyd. You will never hear a Mexican rapper on a podcast clown Canelo for losing to Bivol or even Floyd. You will never hear any rapper from any country clown his own countrymen for losing. Only in the USA, in the black community. Let's not forget Killer Cam, the same guy who was laughing at Teofimo Lopez, basically calling him a monkey too. He tried to act like, he ain't talking to me, he's talking to Crawford and Gervonta, as if Killer Cam ain't black. I don't know who he's trying to fool, himself or us. Perhaps Killer Cam thinks he's alien. But when Teofimo Lopez said, "You are a monkey to me," he was talking about everyone, including you, Killer Cam. So he thinks you a monkey too. But you sat up there and laughed about it. This is the same guy who is so uninformed of what's going on. He told Shakur, fight somebody real. Fight T.O. He gonna do this to you. He gonna do that to you. When T.O. all along been ducking Shakur, even T.O. came out stating that, "I will never fight Shakur or Keyshawn." Meanwhile, Killer Cam telling Shakur to fight T.O. Ain't that ass backward? The guy T.O. who called Killer Cam a monkey too, Killer Cam is still defending T.O. honor, even in ducking, while hating on Shakur, who wants the smoke. Does that add up? The math is not mathing. On It Is What It Is or any other podcast, especially if they have a person from the Coincidentalist hosting it, you will never hear them say some real ish. Like I told you guys before, it's generous to say that Killer Cam, 9 times out of 10, won't say some real stuff. I should say 10 times out of 10, but I did hear him say some real stuff every now and then. But it's rare as a diamond for Killer Cam to say real stuff instead of repeating the comment section, instead of repeating the popular narrative. However, when it's time to clown his own people, when it's time to trash the GWAOT for no reason whatsoever, just because he knows the race fans are gonna love it, you can always count on Killer Cam to deliver the headshot, the kill shot. It's a sad world and a sad reality. This is a sad behavior. What's sadder than that is that this sad behavior is the norm. Like Crawford said, before you look outside to check other people for hating on you, it be your own people that's hating on you. What's funnier than that is that Bud only said that because Teofimo Lopez came out calling him a monkey directly, telling him, "You are a monkey to me." That's when Bud finally said something. However, when Ryan said worse, Bud was the first one to not say anything. And that's the problem here. People only want to say something when it involves them directly, when it affects them directly. However, when it's something that affects the community as a whole, they are as quiet as a church mouse. No difference than Bill Haney. If somebody says something bad about Devin Haney, he will start a revolution. However, when they say something bad about another black fighter, or I should say when another fighter from the Coincidentalist goes through the same things or similar double standards that his son went through, all of a sudden, Bill Haney will repeat old media narrative. He will push old media agenda harder than them. He will say stuff worse than old media, just like Killer Cam just did. What goes around comes back around. Karma is real, but I call that Allah plan. With the opinions out of the door and the facts laid out on the table, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.